from the code labs, right? So in today's session, we are going to discuss about what are state managements in Flutter and why they are used and what are the different types of state managements, etc. And coming to this, what is state management in Flutter actually? So state management in Flutter refers to the process of managing and updating the state of a user interface. So it is mainly used for managing and updating the user interface. Flutter provides various ways to manage states. So to manage a particular state, so the Flutter provides various ways. So those are stateful widgets, inherited widgets, providers, redux, and block. So these are the different types of ways where the managing of the state will be handled. And next, here you can see stateful widget in Flutter. So here, stateful widget is a type of a widget in Flutter that has an associated mutable state. So it consists of a mutable state, and it consists of two classes. So one is widget itself and associated with the state object. So these are the two classes which are being provided in this widgets, like stateful widgets. The widget is immutable and represents the configuration of a widget. The state object is mutable and holds the dynamic state of a widget where the state object is created. So when this stateful widget is being useful and what are the activities to perform it? So first of all, a widget is inserted into a tree. So when the state object is created, when you insert a widget in a particular tree, the object is being created, or it can be removed when the widget is being destroyed. Okay. Next, coming to this, stateful widget is mainly used for building widgets that need to change dynamically based on the user interaction or other events. So it is mainly used for building a user interaction, and it's mainly used for user interface, right? For example, such widgets are forms, animations. So these are some examples of a widgets: forms, animations, dynamic display of a data, etc. To update the state of a stateful widget, so you can use set state method. So to update our stateful widget, so there's a method called set state. Okay, what is this set state is going to perform is, inside the set state method you can modify the state of a widget. So you can modify the states of the widgets, and the build method will be called again to reflect the updated state in UI. So after modifying some states in this widget, the build method will be going to call this particular modified widget, okay, by the updated UI. Next, it is important to note that stateful widgets are relatively expensive compared to stateless widgets. So there are two types of widgets, right? Stateful widget and the stateless widget. So compared to stateless widget, stateful widget is much expensive. Like it's much more better in designing a UI tree, etc. Therefore, it is mainly recommended to use stateful widgets only when necessary and optimize the widget tree for better performance. So it is we recommend only stateful widgets compared to stateless because these are mainly optimized and brings better UI tree while building the application in the Flutter. Next, coming to the second way, it is an inherited widget in Flutter. So first one is stateful widget, and second one is inherited widget. So what is this inherited widget? An inherited widget is a type of a widget in Flutter which allows the data to be shared and accessed by all of its descendant widgets in a widget tree. So the use of the inherited widget is, in the Flutter, when we use inherited widget, the data can be shared for all widgets which are being obtained in a particular tree. So consider a tree, and a tree consists of 2 to 3 widgets, and the data can be shared among those 2 to 3 widgets everywhere and can be accessed by anyone. And when an inherited widget is updated, it notifies all of its distant widgets and triggers a rebuild of those widgets. So when the widget is being updated, it will notify for the all widgets which are being held in the tree. This allows for efficient data sharing and makes it easy to manage state across. So it is it's very easy to sharing the efficiency data and state across the entire widget tree. Inherited widgets are commonly used to manage application level state. So these are mainly used for manage the application level states, such as user authentication or application theme. I also discussed about user authentication in the previous session, like login forms, sign up forms, etc. So these are some examples about user authentication. Next, third one is provider in Flutter. So, okay. So, provider is a separate concept which will not occur in the types of state managements. So, what is provider in Flutter? So, provider is a state management library. So, it is a state management library in Flutter. So, where it is used to easy to share and manage the state across the entire widget tree. So, here you can share data, or you can manage across the widgets in a widget tree. So it is based on an inherited concept. So there is no much more difference when comparing to this inherited and the provider. So similarly, these both concepts are same, but there are some slightly difference. So that is, it provides a simple and lightweight way to manage application state. So it will be manage application states in a simple way. Okay. Provider allows widgets to access state and automatically rebuild when the state changes without needing to explicitly pass the state down the widget tree. So this provider allows all the widgets to access the state automatically. So without any permissions or anything etc. in a widget tree. Okay, so it can allow every widget to access the state automatically without any errors or anything. Okay. Next, coming to the provider in Flutter. Okay, this is the another continuation. So with provider, you can create a central data store. So with with the help of a provider, you can create a central data store. There are two types. One model and service. So model or a service that holds the application state, where the model or a service holds a particular application state. This store can be accessed by any widget in a widget tree. So the data which is being stored in this model or a service can be accessed in a tree everywhere and anywhere. I also told consider a particular tree, and the tree consists of two or three widgets, right? So this data can be accessed by any widget. So any these two or three widgets in a particular tree, and changes made to the state will automatically trigger updates to any widgets that depend on the state. So when there is data accessed by a particular widget, the update will be automatically triggered up. Okay. Overall, provider is a powerful and flexible state management library that can help you build complex and efficient Flutter applications. So, this provider is one of the powerful and flexible state management library. So, where you can build complex and efficient Flutter applications. So next, coming to the provider provides different types of providers to manage the state. So there are different types of providers to manage the state, not only single one. So those are change notifier provider, which allows you to manage a change notifier object and rebuild the widgets when the change notifier notifies the change. So if you change any particular widget in a particular tree, this change notifier will send the updates, or it notifies to a particular thing that there is any rebuild or something like that, etc. Or the stream provider, so which allows you to manage a stream and rebuild widgets. So when the stream emits a new data, so when this change notifier will perform well, so when you change any data, or when you transfer the data from widget to widget in a particular widget tree, this change notifier notifies the changes to a particular provider in the Flutter application. So next, Redux in Flutter. So this is the another type in the state management, right? This is the another way. So Redux is a state management pattern and library that can be used in Flutter to manage the application state in a predictable and scalable way. So this Redux is a state management where it is also comes under a library, and it can manage the application state in a scalable way. Okay, in a particular way. Okay, in a Redux, the application state is stored in a single store. So application state is only stored in a single store, and changes to the state are made by the dispatching actions to the store. Reducers then take these actions and return a new version of the state. So by this, when an application data is stored in a single store, right, and the state may changes from actions by dispatching, right, and these can be done by returning a new version of a particular state. Next, Flutter provides a Redux library called Flutter Redux. So it consists of a library that is Flutter underscore Redux. So which can be used in conjunction with other Flutter libraries like Redux Thunk or Redux Saga. So this mainly Flutter Redux is mainly used for conjunction between the libraries like, for example, Redux Thunk or Redux Saga. So to manage the asynchronous actions. So these are mainly used to manage the asynchronous actions. Okay, so this can help to simplify the process of managing complex application states and making it easier to maintain the test of the application. So it makes the process simpler that all the tests of the application and executions of the particular application makes easy to by using this Redux in the Flutter. Next, this is another one, block in Flutter. So what is block? So business logic component. So this is the known as block. So it is a design pattern that is mainly used in the Flutter under state management. Is one of the way in the state management. So in this pattern, the business logic of an application is separated from a presentation layer. So this is there are another layer called presentation layer. It is separated from it. So which makes modular or easier to test. So it is much more modular and tests of a particular project of a Flutter can be done very easily. So in block, the business logic is encapsulated in a class. If a business logic is encapsulated in a particular class, then it is known as block. Okay, that exposes of a stream of states. It consists of states, etc. And the UI layer then subscribes to the stream and reacts to change in the particular state. So the block can also receive events from the UI layer and use them to update the state. So this block also receives the events or any updates from the UI layer so that it can update the particular state of the statements here, state management. So block is often used in combination with reactive libraries like RxDart. So it is also mainly used for combination of the libraries. Okay, it handles asynchronous operations and transforms the data, etc. And the use of the block can be lead to maintainable and testable code. So we can test the code and it's modular and it's very easy to test in the Flutter applications. And it can make easier to handle complex state managements in Flutter applications. So it is very easy to handle the state management scenarios in the Flutter application by this using this block. Next, what is change notifier in the Flutter? So in Flutter, a change notifier is a class that can be used to manage the application state. So we already discussed before, change notifier is one of the thing which will notify when there is any update in the widget tree, right? So it is mainly used to manage the application state and notify listeners is one of the particular method which is provided by this change notifier. So change notifier is a part of a Flutter foundation library and it can provide a basic implementation of an observer pattern. So it has a single method. So this change notifier consists of a single method called as a notify listeners. Okay, so which is mainly used for rebuilding of widgets in a particular application state. And to use a change notifier, you typically create a subclass that holds the state of your application and exposes the methods to update that state. So to create this change notifier, you have to create a subclass with the particular thing, notify listeners, right? So you have to use the notify listeners to execute this change notifier. So you have to create a subclass to trigger up the rebuilding of any widget of a particular state. So you can use this subclass as a provider in the Flutter. So you can use this subclass as a provider in the Flutter and provider package or in another state management solutions like if you are going to take another state management solutions, you can also use like RiverPod or GetX. So we are also going to discuss about the GetX in some of other sessions. Okay. Next, when the state of a change notifier changes, so if the change notifier state is going to be changed, then any widget that depending on it will be rebuilt automatically. So if a change notifier changes the state, then all the widgets will be rebuilt automatically, okay, itself. So this can help the simplify the process of managing application state. So it is mainly used for easy process and it will simplify the process by managing the applications and also testing of your code. Next, provider counter in Flutter. So this provider package is a state management solution in Flutter that allows you to share the data between the widgets without having to pass the data down through the widget. So why this provider package in state management is mainly used? So it can share the data from between widgets to widgets. So without any passing down of a particular instructions or anything. Okay, the data is being going to be shared within the widgets and widgets without any passing of the data. Okay. So the provider class is the core of a provider package. So the provider is the main thing for to run the provider package, okay, and it provides a way to access the data from higher level to a widget tree. So to access the data in a widget tree, it should access from a higher level, okay, in a provider counter. Next, a provider counter is a simple example of how to use a provider package to manage a state in a Flutter. So it involves for creating a class that extends the change notifier class. So why this provider counter is mainly used is to creating a class for change notifier, so which all allows you to listen for changes to a state. In case state is a simpler integer counter. So here the state is a simple integer counter. Okay. So we are going to discuss in provider counter, right? So here the state is a simple counter. So to use the provider counter, you first create an instance of a counter class and wrap it with a change notifier provider. So if you want to use this provider counter, then you have to create an instance in a particular counter class and you have to wrap it with a change notifier provider widget. Then you can access the counter value from anywhere. So by using this, you can access this counter value from anywhere, from any widget tree. Okay, by using this provider dot of counter context method. So here you can see, right. So provider of context method. So by this you can simply access the widget from any tree. Next, this will give you access to the current value of a counter and also rebuild the widget automatically when the counter value changes. So by using this provider counter here, you can see, right. So provider dot off counter context method. So by using this, you can access the current value of a particular counter from anywhere, and also you can rebuild the widget automatically when the counter value changes. So we here discussed, right, before slide. So wait a minute. Yeah, here you can see the chain notifier changes, right. Any widgets depend on it will be rebuilt automatically. Here you can see, right. So chain notifier changes any widgets and it will be rebuilt automatically. So same concept repeated here. So here you can see when the current value of a counter is accessed by anyone, or it can be rebuilt when the counter value changes. So when the value is going to be changed, the widget is going to automatically update. So overall, the provider package provides a powerful and flexible way to manage the state in your Flutter apps. And also a provider counter is just one example of how you can use it to simplify your code and improve your performance. So it is one of the flexible and powerful way for managing of the state in a particular Flutter application. And it is one to improve your code and your performance of a particular Flutter application, and you can test your code very easily. Next, coming to the provider shopper in Flutter. So, provider shopper is a sample Flutter app that demonstrates how to use a provider package for state management in a real world application. So, why this provider shopper is mainly used in Flutter app? So, it tells that it demonstrates that how the provider package is used mainly in the real world applications. So, it is an e-commerce app that allows users to browse products or add them to a cart and place an order. So these provider shoppers are mainly used for that. And in provider shopper, the provider package is used to manage the state of a shopping cart, the list of products, and the order history. So you can see here the provider shopper where it consists of a provider package, and this provider package is mainly used to manage the state of shopping cart and the list of products and the order history. Okay, you can manage these histories and you can maintain shopping carts, etc. And the app is built using a modular architecture, which each feature separated into its own folder containing the necessary files to its feature. So this provider shopper consists of some special features where you can create your own shopping carts according to your brand, and you can create the own folder containing of the necessary files with the particular features. and the main screen of the app displays a list of products that can be filtered by category. So when you open a e-commerce app, you can see the app displays with the particular products and also filtered by a category. So when the user adds a product to a cart, the cart icon in a shop bar, app bar, yeah, not in a shop bar, it's an app bar. So app bar updates to show the number of items in a cart. So when you add an item into the cart, you can see the topmost or bottommost bar with a particular number of the items with a cart symbol. Okay, so with the cart icon and app bar updates to show the number of items in the cart. So the cart screen displays a list of items in the cart, the total cost of the items, and the button to place an order. So you can see the how many items are being placed and how many items and what are the particular price and a button to place an order, everything you can see, right? The provider package is mainly used throughout the app to manage the state and update the UI automatically when the state changes. So it can automatically update the UI when there is a change in the state. Okay, so, for example, when a user adds an item to a cart, the cart screen automatically updates to show a new item and total cost. So, by adding every item, you can update the rate of the price of a particular product automatically. Okay. So this is an example, right? When the counter value changes, it will automatically update. So here also, when an item is added, the price of a particular item is being updated automatically, okay, without any support or without any instruction. So overall, the provider shopper is a great example of how to use the provider package of a state management in a complex app. It demonstrates how to use the provider to manage the multiple pieces of a state and how to organize the code in a modular way for better maintainability. So here, this is the best example of the e-commerce app to demonstrate how the provider shopper is being used in the Flutter applications. So this is the end of the presentation. Now we can see some different types of what are the different types of stateful widgets, right? We have discussed here. So coming to this, so stateful widgets in Flutter. So we can see a document related to this. So here you can see the stateful widget in class, right? So you can visit the api.flutter.dev/flutter widgets, stateful widgets. So this is the particular page where you can see the detailed information about the stateful widget class. So here you can see some informational videos how stateful widgets are used best in Flutter. And next here you can see there are two types of primary categories. Here one is stateful widgets and another one is stateless widgets. So here it consists of inherited widgets. And if you want to know more about inherited widgets, you can simply click here and you can read more documents related to that and change notifiers and streams. Okay, inherited widgets, etc. And coming to the stateful widgets, okay, you can all go through it. And here you can see widget versus helper methods and how the stateful widget skeleton is going to be in the Flutter application. Here you can see class name as yellowbird and extends stateful widgets. So here you can here we placed a widget. So widget called stateful widget. Okay, class name as yellowbird and extends as stateful widget. Here we given a constructor yellowbird and a super dot key value, and we he given a sample program. Here you can see the written container color as const color here, and it is built in a context. Okay, and this is the another program. Here you can see here also the stateful widget is being used. Okay, here you can see the another sample program, and these are the particular things. And here you can see the detailed introduction about the stateful widget and about the stateless widgets and inherited widgets. Okay, so these are some inheritance, some particular content related to that. And here you can see the constructors, so stateful widgets and key initializes key for subclasses, and you can see the constructors, right? Here you can see properties like hash code, key, and runtime. I mean runtime type. So here you can see some different types of methods and different types of constructors and properties. Okay, so these are the methods in where you can see in stateful elements or in stateless elements. So these are some particular methods where we use in stateful or stateless widgets. So these are some operators, right? Operators equals like Boolean functions, etc. So these are some important material document related to the stateful widgets. Okay, so this is the main explanation of the stateful widgets, I mean state management in Flutter. So now we go in previous session, we visited a code lab, right? MDC code lab. So once we go through it, so MDC code lab and Flutter. So coming to this, this is the one not two, right? So we have in the previous session, I told do this MDC one or two Flutter material structure and layout lab by O1. But in this video, I mean in this session, I'm going to explain everything in detail. So first of all, we have to execute 101. Okay, 101 is a basic thing. So first of all, you have to download the setup process of the particular application. So simply click on next, and we have to install this Flutter development environment, Flutter SDK and an editor. So we are going to use an editor like VS Code, and we consist of a Flutter SDK. And these are some emulators, Android emulators, Windows, Mac OS. So these are some requirements where you want to set up in your computer. So click on next, and simply download this download starter app, right? So simply download in this. You will be going to download this particular file. Simply open it and extract this particular. So simply extract it in desktop. Okay, I'm going to extract it in desktop. So we will see if it is extracted or not. Yeah, it is being extracted. Here you can see the material components, right? So after that, so what the instructions that are given here. So here come down. So here you can see after execution, you are going to appear this type of screen. Okay, so let us upload this particular folder, right? Okay, I have already opened here. I'm going to open this folder. So where it is located, desktop. So open this material components folder. So it takes some time. So after selecting the folder, simply go to library, and in library go to login dot. So these are some comments which are related to this particular dot application. These will not affect much more. Okay, these are not considered in an output. So to execute this, so here you can see many errors, right? So these are not errors. So it is analyzing the program which you have been uploaded. After analyzing these errors are will been go away. So first of all, you have to select a device here. So simply wait a minute. Create an enable web for this project. So here you create yes. So it will create a web application. So before that, we can see some instructions here which we have been given, right? So these are the download for the code lab starter app. And next, going to this, we can add a top bar, I mean top app bar. So here you can see the app bar and a widget. So this is the particular thing when you are going to down before downloading this code lab, we will get this type of particular thing. We have to execute this all. So you have to uh, post and paste it in a particular way. So you do it by your own. So how this will being executed and how these are all being pasted, I'm going to show you now. So simply click on next. So here you can see the card in a grid. So you can see the grids, different types of grids here, and come to the next. So these are the card collections. So where you can see different types of cards. So how these cards are being generated, like here you can see the build grid cards as 10, right? So we have given the 10 types of cards here. So the 10 cards are being displayed. And coming to the next. So this is the end of the code lab. So come to the next code lab. Here you can see, yeah, here you can see the theming with a particular thing. Yeah, come to this change the colors. So this is the download the code lab starter app. Okay, so coming to this, you have to insert this colors dot dot. Okay, after inserting it, So before you have saw the blue color, now you are going to change this into this particular color, pink color, right? So after that, coming to the down, you have to insert this colors dot into the login page. So you have to link this by importing your particular file into the app dot location. Here you can see, right? So after this, you have to copy the theme based instances. So you have to copy the theme data into the particular instance. So after pasting this, right, after linking this colors dot to your app dot, you will going to observe this output. Before you have saw the blue color, now you are going to see the pink color, right? So this is the particular update where you are going to see. So this is everything interface is going to be changed. So this is the one. And coming to the next, here you can also modify the typography and label text. You can modify the text by using font family. He used a Rubik, and he had given where it is being located and the weight of a particular font. So after pasting it, if there is any error, we have to use this fonts or family Rubik. Okay, we have to add some space. Now, coming to the login dot, you have to paste this column and the children widget. Okay, so wait a minute. So once we can execute it by using the Chrome web. So simply click on F5. So it will be going to be executed. I'm also going to show this one, right, this MDC 103 Flutter, right. I'm also going to show this how this output is being generated. After showing the MDC 102, I'm going to show the 103 and 104, so in further sessions. So let us discuss here, right. So this is how the text is being updated after pasting this font family as Rubik and display color and body color. And next, use the new text themes. If you want any text font families, you can also upload your own font families, right? Not only Rubik, okay? You can also add text themes, etc. And this is the output where you are going to be generated. So you can also make these cards as a center, right? So before you are going to see this in a particular left side. Next, now you are going to add these cards in a center alignment. Okay, next you can add some text. When you click on username, the pink color hover effect, etc., is going to be occurred. So here you can see the output is being loaded, right? Yeah, here you can see the output. So you did it. So you did it, but nothing. But because we have downloaded the one or two project, right? You have to do everything where the instructions has been given, right? You have to do one by one so that the final output will be occurred according to the particular output. Okay. Now just simply follow this particular project instructions, and this is the buttons where you can occur font styles, and you can see the bold buttons and also some typography changes, etc. And you can also change this card type, I mean card style and everything. And you can add the shapes to a particular login screen. Here you can see the button boxes have been changed in the shape, right? Username, password, next button, and cancel button. The changes in the shape. Okay, there are some changes, right? And coming to the next, you can change the layout. So you can also change the layout. You can see here the grid is being arranged in a different parts. So one card is in the left side, another one in the right side, another one in the center. Okay. So here you can see the different types of the arrangements of the alignment of a particular card. So coming to the next. So this is another optional theme. So not only this pink color, you can also try this this color by simply changing this particular code in app.dat under build shrine theme. Okay. So these all comments and everything will be occur will be held present in that particular file where you are going to download. Okay. So simply click on next, and after completing this lab, come to the next code lab. So this is the last code lab. So it consists of four code labs in material design components. So okay, only total four labs are going to be present in this MDC. So again, come to the remove the home bar. So now you are going to add this. So you are going to paste this everything code according to the instructions which are given here. You have to add this codes according to this comments. Okay, you have to everything add correctly, otherwise you are going to face with some errors. Okay, now you have to add everything. You have to add it in an app dot import this backdrop dot and model slash product dot, right. This everything you have to do particularly according to it. And next, this is the output where you can get. So here you can see the three dots, right. So the background is everything is pink. Okay, before you can see the card color as a white. Now everything is pink. Okay, now here under the container you have to add it consists of a decorated box and a limited box and a constraint box. So these are the two content components of the this particular container. Okay, and here you can add a shape for a front layer. So here you can see a layer, right. After before below the navigation menu you can see a particular shape. So this also been occurred by pasting this particular code in a particular comments area. Okay, so follow these instructions and come to the next, and you can add a motion to a menu bar. Okay, how to add it? By copying this code, and how the output is. So here when you open it in a particular, you can see here, you can see right below, uh, you can see some animation when you run this application. Okay, so you will come from bottom to up. So it can add columns, etc. So these are all being done when you execute this code labs manual practically. Okay. So coming to the next, here you can add a back layer. So by simply copying this code, okay, particularly you have to follow these instructions before pasting this code. Okay, you have to follow them strictly, and you have to paste it. You have to see here, right? You can consist of some comments. I will show you. Wait. Yeah, here you can see comments like to do make current category, field take. So these are all comments. So here, if you confuse in this particular instruction, if you are going to confuse in this particular application, if you won't find this build function in the code where he is going to be located, you unable to find this build function, you have to just identify by using these comments. Okay, these are the comments, the main best way to identify where this code should be copied. Okay, so blindly follow these comments where the code should be placed. Okay. Next, how the output will be occurred. So here you can see the menu bar. Okay, all accessories, clothing, home. So we have also uploaded the navigation menu. So action will be occurred when you click on the three dots. I mean navigation menu. So we can also add some animations to it, and we can also change images, right? So to change images, you have to add dependencies in pub.yaml. So without installing those images in .yaml, so you can occur some errors. Okay, so clicking on next, so you can also add a logo. So before you don't have a logo, only you consist of a shrine, you can also add the logo by using this particular code where it is given below. So here you can simply add this code in backdrop dot by creating a new class. So by creating a new class, you can add this particular thing before the shrine content, like shrine text. Okay, so the image will be added to that particular place, and you have to add this assets image, right. I told you you have to add this assets image to your dependencies.yml. So after installing these assets into your .yml, then you have to paste it the path of a particular image in a particular place. Here you can see, right. So add a slanted menu.png must add it to the pubspec.yml. So here the pubspec.yml is mainly mandatory to uh, store the assets which you are going to be using the Flutter application. And these are some login screen for trading accounts. So these are some instructions. And so till here, the code labs are being completed. So you can execute these four code labs separately. So make sure to not forget to do these code labs, because these four code labs are mainly important for material design components, and you can build a basic simple application by using these four labs. Okay, so you can change images, you can change fonts, you can change colors, and you can build according to yourself. So this is the basic application. Okay, so this is the basic application and you have to build this. So in before session I have showed everything, like a shrine navigation menu and some cars, etc. I showed everything. So to do that, you have to do practically code lab at your particular systems. Okay, so then you can get some informative idea according to this basic for code labs. Okay, so this is the end of the session for today. So in the next session we can discuss about some other code labs. There are again some code labs. Okay, so here you can see there are plenty of code labs. Okay, you can see different types of code labs from here. So these are all code labs. So how to test Flutter app, so adapt to Flutter apps in Flutter. So these are all code labs. So these are all code labs will be explained. There are up to 3 pages. Okay, so up to 3 pages of this code labs in Flutter. So these are all code labs. Maximum will be covered in our further sessions. Okay, so these are the code labs only related to the MDC. So these are only four code labs which are related to only material design components. So these are the code labs which are related to whole Flutter application building. Okay, so this is the end of the session. So make sure to try these four Flutter material design component labs practically. Okay, so this is the end of session. Is there any doubts regarding this session? Is there any doubts?